It's time to shake it up. Shake it up, damn it. Vince McMahon is going to shake things up. Raw is in Sacramento, California tonight. It's the night after TLC, and it's all about Vince McMahon making his big announcement. And what he does is he basically comes out. He gets a big reaction, as I expected. No one was booing him. He was the most over guy on the whole show. The same people who were complaining on Twitter, the same ones who were going to fucking bow to him. At least we didn't see that. At least I didn't have to see any of these fucking morons in the front row bowing to Vince McMahon. I remember one year at WrestleMania, everyone hated the show. Everyone said the show sucked. The next day on Raw, Vince McMahon comes out to start the show, and you have these fucking idiots in the front row bowing to Vince McMahon as if he's like their fucking grandfather or something. It was fucking embarrassing. My God. Anyway, I just laugh at it. These idiots bowing to Vince. What geeks, these dumbasses who fucking do that. And Vince just goes off on the show. He's basically admitting the show sucks. And then Stephanie comes out, and then followed by Triple H, and then followed by Shane McMahon. And they basically announced that there's no more general managers of Raw and SmackDown. And they're going to run both shows. They're going to run Raw, and they're going to run SmackDown. So I don't know what that means for Paige. I don't know if Paige is done. So I don't know. But Baron Corbin's obviously done. And he comes out, and Sacramento boos the living shit out of Corbin. This goes on and on. I hated this segment. It kept going on and on. Triple H, Stephanie, Shane, they all take turns egging the crowd on to boo him. And we didn't actually get to see Vince fire Baron Corbin in the segment. And what they announced is Corbin he can get his job back if he beats Kurt Angle, but then it's announced a handicap match. All the guys who beat him up at the TLC are in this match, with the exception of Finn Balor, because he's wrestling Dolph Ziggler later. So it's Angle, Rude, Gable, and Cruz all beat up Baron Corbin. They kick his ass. It becomes a no DQ match. He beat him up with chairs. Angle gets the win, and then he gives him an angle slam through a table. I have seen so much TLC stipulations. I've seen so many tables and ladders and chairs the last couple of weeks. I want a huge break from that. So have to watch Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler. It's same old shit. Put me to sleep. Balor wins by DQ. What a snooze fest. Finn Balor and Dolph Ziggler. Raw fucking sucks again. They have Drew McIntyre beat up Dolph Ziggler, and then he beats up Finn Balor as well with the Claymore. They show Ambrose in the back with these fucking gas mask shit. They're still keeping that fucking Bane gimmick. It's like, that was popular in 2012. Alright? It doesn't have any staying power. I don't think the Bane thing has as much staying power as the Joker. And even the Joker was, 10 years ago now? In The Dark Knight? I mean, that was 2012. Come on, guys. Stop with the Bane stuff. It would have worked 5-6 years ago. Oh, man, why? And I love that movie. I love all the Dark Knight movies, but come on. We don't need to see that. And by the way, if you ever want to see reviews of the Dark Knight trilogy, I've actually reviewed them before on my YouTube channel, so you can look it up. I have reviews for Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises. So cheap plug there, but just in case you want to see any movie reviews of those films. Promo sucks. I'm just bored. So it's Ambrose and Tyler Breeze from Crown Tide. I like Tyler Breeze, but he should be released. I'm sorry, but he needs to go. It's been a failure. The company's booked him to be a complete failure. If he wants to be a jobber, fine, I guess. But in terms of getting a segment on Raw, no. I mean, he's no better than Heath Slater or Kurt Hawkins or Zack Ryder. That's what Tyler Breeze is, or even less than Fandango now. So, yeah, that's what he is. They have Shane McMahon in the back. This is just boring. So, okay, so here's the big news. This is a noteworthy Raw because they announced that what's going to happen now is there is going to be several debuts on the main roster. I don't know necessarily who's coming up to WWE on each brand, but we know these are all going to be main roster call-ups. What you have is you have several names from NXT all coming up, and what's going to happen is they're going to be assigned to Raw or SmackDown. It's going to be kept as a surprise, which I kind of like. I kind of like the suspense of it. I don't know which brand they're going to show up on. When Baron Corbin was in the ring in the beginning, when the corporation or the McMahons, whatever you want to call him now, was going to announce his mystery opponent. I was thinking it was going to be Lars Sullivan. I was surprised when it was Angle. I was disappointed when it was Angle. I was thinking, oh shit, it's Lars Sullivan. But maybe if they want, I think they want to give Lars Sullivan the Braun Strowman push. Maybe it's better to keep him on separate brands from Braun Strowman. I would consider doing that if I was WWE. If they really want to, if they're serious about pushing this guy, I think, he's smaller than Braun, so maybe it's better to debut Lars Sullivan on SmackDown, unless you want to move Braun to SmackDown. So that's how I would do. So yeah, Lars Sullivan gets another one. The next one they announce is EC3, which doesn't surprise me. I didn't expect him to be in NXT for very long. It's going to be almost less than a year he's been in NXT. Quick run, He's one of those guys. He's a veteran. Will bring you in NXT, and then in a year you have to pay your dues for a year. They did that with Shinsuke Nakamura. They did that with Drew McIntyre. Stay there for a year, then they'll bring you up. That's kind of how they do it. They also announced one I am very surprised by. I don't agree with, and that's calling up Lacey Evans. I don't know why. Lacey Evans is someone who's very green, who should be in NXT for about another year. She's not ready. She needs to be groomed more, and I feel like bringing her up can just blow up in everyone's faces. I feel like it won't. It kind of reminds me of Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke, when I saw her in NXT, believe it or not, I thought she had a lot of potential. A lot of people are thinking this woman has some potential. She has something to her. I thought that way. And then she comes up, she's not ready, she's inexperienced, she loses her confidence, and she's a complete and utter failure. I was thinking maybe that's not the best idea to call up Lacey Evans. I don't think she's ready. Someone who is ready is Nikki Cross. That's no surprise. She's already debuted, basically, but we'll see Nikki Cross. That doesn't surprise me. She should be on SmackDown. Just put her with Sanity. I don't know what's up with their ass. What's up their ass? They did that with Carmella, too. Oh, she can't be with the guys. Put her with Sanity. Give Sanity some airtime. Just give them something. And then the last team they announced is Heavy Machinery. So that's they announced Heavy Machinery will be joining the tag division. They don't know which one. I would assume Raw, because SmackDown kind of has the veteran tag team, so maybe they want to put them in with Raw and they have them feud with AOP or the Revival if they would ever start pushing those guys, or Rude and Gable. So those are your team. Those are the people who are calling up. Yeah, so all of them. They also show one on Heavy Machinery. Their names are Otis Javokic and Tucker Knight. I forget that. I don't know. Heavy Machinery, they're a team that again, it's like when you see how bad of a job WWE just did with the AOP, you really get worried. It's two big guys. I feel like, the problem with Heavy Machinery, they're so much overshadowed by the War Raiders in NXT. So, yeah. Back to the show. Less interesting stuff. I'm not going to talk about Leo Rush and Bobby Lashley. Leo Rush, I wish was released. He has to go away. He has Baron Corbin heat with me as far as I'm concerned. They announced a Fatal 4-Way tag match. They're doing the match now. Shane McMahon made the match. It's Authors versus Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, who are still employed, versus the Revival versus the Lucha House Party. Winner gets the tag title match at any time, and the Revival gets the win, which was kind of cool. And they also announced Sami Zayn does a video feature, so he's coming back soon. That's a surprise. And they also did one for Kevin Owens, so you have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn coming back. That's really cool. I was not expecting. I was expecting to see both of them back after WrestleMania, mainly because they both had such bad injuries. Especially, I think Zayn, had both his rotator cuffs torn. I think Owens had a bad knee injury too. So I was expecting to see both of them, but not until after WrestleMania. They had Rollins backstage. I'm so sick of Rollins. I can't stand him. Stuff with Corbin. I don't like Rollins at all. I think the guy sucks. I hate his working style. I hate how he wrestles. I hate the fucking sell your knee for 20 minutes every fucking match he ever has now. Ever since his damn knee injury 3 years ago, he always sells like he tore his ACL. He's blew out his knee. He does that fucking thing every goddamn match. He sells his damn knee injury. Oh, I haven't seen that before. And then I'll follow it up with about 5 topes. So, yeah. I don't like any of his stuff. I agree with what one of Bret Hart's brothers says. I think it might have been Smith Hart, when he said, you know what, this guy is a horrible wrestler. I'm not calling him terrible in the ring. It's just the whole point of wrestling is to make it look real without hurting anybody. And this guy, everything this guy looks is fake, and he hurts people. So kind of have to agree with Smith Hart. I'm not a Rollins fan. Ronda Rousey cuts a promo. She goes after Charlotte Flair, and she calls out Becky Lynch, and the promo she's cutting is, I kind of get the impression now from what I've heard it might be Ronda. I said on last night's review it's going to be Ronda, Charlotte, Becky. I think we might get Ronda and Charlotte Part 2 at the Royal Rumble, and then you might get Ronda and Becky at WrestleMania. I think that's might be the direction. I'd like to see a triple threat because I think that's the bigger match, but I'm starting to think that's their direction, is the singles matches, both of them back to back, or they could do the triple threat because it looks like it's gonna be Ronda and Natalya at the Royal Rumble or at next week's Raw. Maybe they do something when Natalya turns on Ronda and she attacks her and they set up the match for the Rumble. They could do that, but I'm expecting Ronda to win, and then we go to Ronda Charlotte, and Ronda beats Charlotte, and then it's her and Becky at Mania. It's kind of the direction I'm thinking they're going to go in right now. So they show stuff with all the women backstage. It's just absolutely horrific. It sucks. Yeah, I hate when they have all the women together. It's like they never do that with the men. And she announces there's going to be a gauntlet match, and then Ronda will face the winner of the gauntlet. So, hate gauntlet matches. They're so lazy. Like, we don't want to write shows or else I'll do a gauntlet match. So, Bayley and Alicia Fox still wrestles. Bayley wins. And next is Dana Brooke. That's the second opponent for Bayley. At least I was kind of thinking that was kind of cool. Bayley gets 2 easy wins, and Bayley beats Dana Brooke. During the commercial break, they show the Kevin Owens coming soon one. Then they have Bayley and Mickie James. So Mickie James beat Bayley. Not surprising. They have Ember Moon beat Mickie James. Okay. Natalya beats Ember. Then it's Ruby Riott. Natalya beats Ruby Riott. And then the last one is Sasha Banks. So it makes you think, all right, there might be some suspense. Is Natalya going to lose? I mean, I don't know. They just had Natalya win 2 matches. They somewhat... I don't know if they really see anything in Sasha anymore. They loved her at first, but I don't know. They cooled off on her. They sometimes give her wins like this. I don't know. Could go either way. That brought some suspense, putting Sasha to last one. But Natalya beat Sasha, and it had a good showing, and Natalya defeats her with the sharpshooter. So Natalya wins the gauntlet. She wins 3 straight matches. The entire Raw division's a joke. Makes Ember and Ruby Riott look like jokes now. She's destroyed Ruby twice, basically, and beat Sasha, but Sasha's already been buried, so I don't think it matters. But I don't think that was good for them. But they tried to push Natalya. It's like they gave her this big feud at Ruby Riott. They gave her this big win on Raw. I get the feeling that they're going to do more with her than just waste it on Raw on a Christmas Eve tape show. So I think maybe what happens is Natalya turns on Ronda Rousey, and then they set up the Royal Rumble match, or they could just have Ronda beat Natalya, and that's it, and then Ronda just goes on to face Charlotte at the Rumble. So either way is fine. They set it up. They had Ronda raise her hand up, so that's clear their direction. It's going to be Rousey versus Natalya next week on Raw.